guys, so today we're going to be blow drying our own hair. I know that's super daunting, but anyone can do it. And I'm going to show you how I do mine, and I hope it's helpful for you. Anyway, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need to do is make sure that your hair is about 40% dry. So that means either letting it air dry a little bit while you do your makeup, which is what I did, or towel drying it a lot, maybe hitting it with the blow dryer a little bit if you're going to blow dry it immediately. Then you need to pick out your product. I always like to use something. This is a very basic blow dry, so we're just going to use a very basic product. I'm going to use a little cream for hydration and moisture and shine. This is R&Co's High Dive. You need just like a pea-size amount. Rub it in your hands and then sort of equally distribute it through your hair, through the mid-shaft, the ends, and then lastly in the front. As you can see, I have pretty thick curly hair, so I use a little bit of a heavier product, but R&Co also has a product called Waterfall. It's a little bit lighter. It's more like a lotion. This one's more like a cream. So if you have finer hair, veer towards something that is lighter like a lotion. Then you're going to get the appropriate hairbrush for your hair length. My hair length's kind of medium, a little long, but medium. So I'm going to use a medium size metal round brush for this blow dry. This is the Technique 370. As I mentioned in my first video when we talked about brush sizes, I like these brushes because they do have the number, which helps helps you decide which brush to use. Okay, so I always like to start in the front of my hair. Blow dryer's excited. I do that because the front generally dries fastest, and it also gets, for me, curly. I think for finer hair it gets flat faster, so I always like to start there. When I blow dry the front, I also have sort of like a little peekaboo bang, but even if you have long hair, you still want to start in the front. I always like to roll it back. So I kind of pull out my front section, and then the motion of the brush would be like this, backwards. And then after that, I kind of like to blow it all the way to one side and all the way to the other to create kind of like a smooth sweeping, either to one side, the other side, the middle. It'll be versatile. So we're going to do that now. Once you kind of get that front bit out of the way, it's time to move on. So basically we're going to section our hair into 3 sections, not all at once, but we're going to kind of climb up the hair. So the first section you're going to take, we're going to use our ears as a reference, sort of at the bottom of your earlobe. Stick your thumbs in your hair and just slide them across and section out your bottom section. Then you're going to take a clip and clip up the rest. Now, we're going to blow dry this section this is a pretty easy section, especially if you have longer hair, because you can kind of pull it forward. You're just going to pull the brush all the way to the bottom, roll it up, and stop. Roll the brush all the way to the bottom, roll it up, and stop. You get it. So now we're going to do this section. Once you've got that section nice and smooth and dry, you're going to move to the next section. The next section is the top of the ears. You're going to do the same thing with your thumbs on the top of your ears, slide them back, and take out your next section. I'm going to take a little more. And you're basically going to do the same thing for this section. Kind of separate the wet hair from the dry hair. You might get some dry hair in there, but that's okay. And do the same thing. Down, all the way up, until that section is dry. honestly, blow drying your own hair is not easy. It's definitely like a workout, and it can get tangled, as you saw. Don't sweat it. Oh, literally, you can get sweaty. All right, so for the last section, which is the top section, I always feel like people feel like they need to be sitting straight up when they blow dry their hair. I find this quadrant of my hair to be really difficult to blow dry, just the angle of it, and then the higher up, the harder it is. So you're gonna see when I blow dry this section, a lot of times I pull it forward and I actually like tilt my head down to get those back sections. Okay, so we're almost done. It's only been 18 minutes, and like I said, I actually have pretty thick hair, so this technique can be pretty fast. The last thing I like to do is just polish the top. So again, with your thumbs, you sort of on the round crown of your head, pull your thumbs in a circle and pull out the crown. And then using your hands and the brush before you pick up the blow dryer, kind of take that last section, roll it onto the brush, and then pick up your blow dryer. Perfect. So now I'm going to take a little more of my product, again, just a pea-sized amount, rub it in my hands, and then polish off the blow dry. Kind of like to twist it. Perfect. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope that was helpful.